Representative Mahoney, Precinct 4. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. What is the age of these tanks?
I think that approximately 20 years.
Okay. Munson Road, Munson Street abuts the lake.
Yes.
Nuttings Lake. Is there any contamination there?
We don't know yet until we start the process and start removing it. I think that's one of the problems that we encounter. For example, Nashua Road. We're not sure if there's if we just spend the money and find out the contamination, we are required by law. Basically, the clock ticks. So what we're doing here is we're coming to you. We're trying to be proactive, remove the tank. If we encounter contamination, we have to come up with a contingency plan. That requires time and money. What I mean by that is for example, Nashua Road, we will have to do monitoring well. For years to come, we will be monitoring that. We'll have to see how far the contamination, how significant, do we need to remove any material? I mean, there's a lot of reporting to be done. I've been involved in some of these projects, and believe me, it can go on for years.
I just have a question. I'm not familiar with these. And, one of these is near my location. And what were these used for originally? What type of fuel?
In case of power failure, it runs the generators.
Oh. Right. Does anybody know about that in town? I didn't know anything about that.
Now you know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Wetzel.
Steve Wetzel, Precinct 7. How many outstanding tanks do we have in the ground right now, and do you have an estimate of potential liabilities?
We have 3 more that are abandoned that we have to pull, and then after that we got 2 more that we're looking at. The 2 that we're going to be looking at are currently in use.
So there's only 5 tanks in the entire town?
Well, just all underground tanks that we have. Some of the schools have fuel oil. We have 2 here at the fire department, between the fire and the police, that have gasoline and diesel fuel in them. Those are currently in use and they are monitored. The rest of them, we're slowly but surely removing them. We're going to be replacing them with vaults inside or con vaults that can be monitored.
Can you provide us with an estimate of potential liability in the future?
Not really, but you know, we did pull 1 tank over here at the old public library for in excess of $70,000 for one. So, depending upon how far down Nashua Road this is spread towards the river, it could go upwards of $1 million.
Right. I've been involved in some oil tank cleanups, so sometimes we can speculate about what that potential amount might be in the future. And I think that's something I think we would like to ask the DPW to provide that as a potential liability going forward, so we do know that. So if that's something that the DPW could put together, I think it would be appreciated. Thank you.
Representative Busalaki.
Frank Busalaki, Precinct 7. As I recall, last time we looked for, when we gave $60,000, you originally wanted $300,000, and we cut that. I can say that we got the tanks out, number one, for $60,000. Granted that now you have some leakage at Nashua Road. Now, the $150,000 that you're asking for now, will that pay for, or will that money be used first to clean up the leakage in Nashua Road prior to removing the other tanks?
The answer is no. We will be removing the tanks to know the extent of contamination, if there's any contamination at the others. At the Nashua Road, that could be a process that may take years. We will do monitoring well. We will have to find out how far the contamination is. Are we required to remove it? Are we going to do like a use limitation for the site? It's a pump station. We're not doing anything. Is it harming anything? And basically an LSP, a licensed site professional, will have to be involved to come up with a recommendation. So it's not like we just can go and do testing and come up with a report. You really have to do it like every 3 months. You take samples, and you could be doing that for 2 or 3 years, and see where the level of contamination is. It decreasing? where is it going?
Okay, the tanks that you want to remove now, are they empty, number one?
I believe they are.
Believe they are, okay. And have we kept an eye on them? In other words, once we said we're not going to use them anymore, have we tested them once in a while? Because you know, like anything else, rainwater can get in there, and that could further contaminate the soil around here if we kept those empty by pumping them, by testing them, finding even rainwater in there and pumping that at that point in time. I think that's certainly a smart move. Have we done that?
I don't believe we have. These tanks been underground for years. It's not something we just stumbled on.
Right.
They've been there for years, and we're trying to be proactive into removing them.
Fine, then just a suggestion, I would utilize that theory of if you're going to abandon one for now, pump it, and then keep pumping it if the rainwater gets in there.
Right now, we do, but I mean, I can't speak for the history of
Thank you,
what
Representative.
happened.
I think there was someone in the corner over here. Was there a hand in the corner? Okay. Way in back. Black top. Next to Representative Giovanna. Thank you.
Jean Landers, Precinct 7. I believe there are grant programs, I think either from the DEP or the EPA, just for this specific purpose for helping towns deal with contaminated underground storage tanks. Is there anybody from Billerica that has been looking into this?
We always look for grants. I don't believe there is a significant money that out there for grab. I believe there may be a 10,000 or so, but it takes more paperwork and more information that you have to give them defined information, not just for the removal. I don't know if Ed have anything on that.
There was a state grant that I looked into, funded by the Department of Revenue. Unfortunately, it only covered taking the tank out, didn't cover any contamination, and it covered putting a light tank back in the ground. We decided we do not want to do that. We're going to keep everything above ground.
Okay, thank you.
Representative.
Sal D'Ampoto, Precinct 5. I'd like to move the question, please.
How many people were waiting to speak? One, I'm sorry, I didn't see you back there. Two people were waiting to speak. There's a motion to move the question, requires a 2/3 vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. Question is moved. We have one question in front of us. I move that the town vote to transfer free cash from the sum of $150,000 to continue the removal of underground fuel storage tanks and the required remediation of any resulting contamination at the wastewater pump stations. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Pass. Article 11 is in order. I move that the town vote to transfer from free cash a sum of money to be applied or expended for the purpose of reducing the fiscal year 2010 tax rate. Finance Committee.